I'm not going to graduate.
I'm afraid of not passing the Cassie.
I'm scared about what I want to do after high school.
No matter what you go into, make sure that you have an open mind. Speaking as a guy who used to be an auto mechanic.
I'm Gloria.
I'm Leonel.
And I'm Kimberly.
And this is our Roadtrip Nation.
Your heart may be beating, but are you really alive? We went out to an interview with Brent, an anesthesiologist, who will show us what gets his pulse started. We don't know what to expect because we're only seniors in high school, but we hope to get a lot of information to get our own pulse started. We don't want to go through life without our heart beating, so we all agree to take the Roadtrip Nation challenge so we can begin our life with our hearts truly beating.
My name is Dr. Brent Fundingsland. I'm an anesthesiologist. I work at Coast Surgery Center here in San Diego. I had a lot of trouble at home growing up, and I was that kid in class who gets picked on all the time, so I grew up, I fought a lot. I took a lot of martial arts, and for me to study all the time and work all the time was a relief. But now I've got the best family that you could imagine. I mean, I've got a phenomenal wife, and I've got these two little girls who are just fantastic. And I want to be home all the time, and I want to do stuff. And well, when I was in medical school, I got to know our AV guy very well, and I liked photography. When I was in college, and one of my problems was again, I spent a lot of time by myself growing up, and so I never felt that I communicated very well. And for me, pictures and videography was a way to communicate. So I got a job as editing video for a public TV station, and I worked with them doing commercials. And also there was a kind of a high school kids with who are troubled, who I got in a lot of trouble when I was a kid. So I kind of clicked with them. So the way that one of the things that we did was try to get them to do video productions so that they could learn something and do something creative. So I did quite a bit of that. It was interesting, something I still kind of enjoy doing, especially now that I've got a couple little kids. It's fun to have make videos of them and stuff. I made a lot of money when I was 14 because I wanted to get out of the house. So I started working really early. Well, at 15. I got my work permit when I was 15. And I started making, I mean, I was working minimum wage, but I was working almost 40 hours a week while going to school. I always think of what would I tell myself if I went back. I think if I could say something to myself going back, I think the biggest thing would be have a good self-esteem. I mean, don't put other people down. You're not better than anybody else, but have a good self-esteem. In life, a lot of the times where I've lost out on things has been when I didn't think highly enough, and somebody who wasn't as good as I am, wasn't whatever, came in and you know, got to do what I did because I didn't step up to the plate and really try hard. And when I finally did get my self-esteem and started going and be more aggressive about things, it was very good. You know, originally I thought I was going to be an auto mechanic, and then I was going to be try to be a master mechanic with the degree. I like doing mechanical things, and then I changed my mind. I was going to go into computers, and I tried lots of other different things, and eventually went into medicine. Just because I found that I just had a knack for biology and for remembering things, and it was just very interesting. Well, when I was in medical school, I really didn't like Wisconsin at all. I've never liked the cold, and what would happen is that in medical school I'd let myself watch 2 hours of TV a week. That was my enjoyment, basically. I mean, you didn't really have any other life besides that. And I would watch a show. It was called Sunday Morning. It was a news show, and right after that they had a nationwide news show that would show the weather map. And what I would do is look to see where the little sunballs were, because I was freezing cold, and there was this one little place that had sun all the time, and that's where I wanted to go. Been working here for about 8 years. And before that, I worked at Scripps Encinitas, and I went through my residency at UCSD Hospital and stayed on there as an attending anesthesiologist, training other residents for a while. Well, it's funny when you look at when you get into medical school, a lot of people come in with a preset notion of what they do. Very few people leave medical school doing actually what they said they were going to. In my class, it was only 17% of the people who came in saying one thing actually left going into that particular field. I thought that I was going to be either a family practice doctor or a pediatrician. And going through, again, you find that a lot of times things that you thought were true about a particular field turn out not to be. Pediatrics, I enjoyed being with the kids, but the parents are really tough to deal with. And you wind up spending more time with the parents often than the kids. No matter what you go into, make sure that you have an open mind. A lot of people start with a very narrow thing that they want to do and miss all kinds of other things. And I guess the other thing is just know that things change. Medicine's a great example. Medicine, when I started training to go into medicine, anesthesiologists make about twice what I do right now, not adjusted for inflation. And it's going down. So you asked before if I was looking at changing jobs. I currently am thinking about changing jobs into a field completely outside of medicine because of things that are going on. So no matter what you do, make sure that you think not only of the primary thing that you want to do, but of other things that you might do, and try to take preparatory classes for that. If there's one thing, aside from deciding whether or not you want to be a doctor or whatever, much more than that, really learn how to invest and go into college with an open mind. Make sure you go to college.
Wait.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?